Next on Worcester News Tonight, first responders in Harvard are warning people about the dangers of swimming alone. Plus, Governor Baker calls for more oversight on ride-sharing companies like Uber and Lyft to make the service more safe for passengers and to study their impact. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Bottary. First responders in Harvard are called to the town's public beach to search for a potential missing swimmer. After a lengthy investigation, there was no evidence towards anyone being missing. Now the town is hoping to use this incident as a way to warn swimmers about going out alone. Our Cam Jandro is live tonight with the story. Cam?
Anna, thankfully no one was pulled out of the water in Harvard earlier today, but unfortunately that's not always the case. This is the time of year when the temperature goes up through the roof and people start visiting their local ponds, beaches, and lakes, and first responders want people to know going swimming can be dangerous, and it's important you take the proper precautions when going out.
First responders shut down the town beach in Harvard. Divers were in the water for a report of a missing swimmer.
They were witnessing a gentleman doing laps in the water, and at some point they realized they saw him going out and never saw him come back. There's anywhere from a 2 to 4 minute window that happened.
The District 8 dive team used sonar technology along the beach, but there was no indication someone was missing, and ultimately the search was called off. The Harvard Fire Department says the response was out of an overabundance of caution, but they hope to use it as a lesson for anyone looking to swim in open water.
Swimming, make sure somebody knows where you are when you go in the water, when you come out. You know, have somebody know where you are. It's very important, and know your limitations.
Boats and divers were in the water for the better part of 2 hours. They say conditions were difficult, which can only make it more dangerous for swimmers.
It's very weedy. The water's about 8 to 10 feet deep, but the weeds are almost 6 feet high. In there, visibility is almost zero in there, so all the searching is basically by hand.
The fire department says at the end of the day, they're glad they didn't have to pull anybody out of the water this time. And if they had to, they'd be ready.
So we take everyone's life seriously, and we will exhaust all possibilities to make sure that no one is in the water.
Now, some tips if you are going out into the water, make sure you always have a cell phone. That way, if something happens, you have the ability to call somebody. And also make sure you always have a life vest if you're going out fishing or on a boat or something like that. We're live in Worcester tonight. I'm Cam Jandro. Anna, back to you.
Thanks, Cam, and we'll hear from a UMass Memorial doctor on water safety coming up a little later in our Health Watch report. Well, the FBI is asking for help tracking down a man who has been threatening clerks and stealing money from stores across Massachusetts. The robberies date back to August. Authorities call him the Inconvenient Crook. They say he wears a mask on his face and some kind of hood. He also walks with a limp. The FBI is worried things might turn violent and is offering a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to an arrest. Governor Charlie Baker files new legislation to strengthen regulations for ride-sharing services. The goal is to build one of the most strict ride-for-hire background check systems in the country. And some riders say it's much needed. Our Chandler Walsh has more.
Governor Baker announces new legislation for ride-sharing companies like Uber and Lyft, aiming to make them safer.
Good morning. Just want to start by reminding everybody.
Baker's proposal would increase penalties for unapproved drivers who use someone else's driver account. Some riders in Worcester say it's something they're on board with.
Yeah, there should be a penalty that if they find out that you're misusing this certificate, yeah, you need to pay for that.
You want to know that like the people that are giving you rides are who they say they are. So like I guess it's kind of like a stolen identity type of situation.
The legislation would also make it illegal for drivers to use riders' personal information to stalk or harass them. Stanley Austin says there should be more protections around information.
When your driver's outside and you get the text message that says, "Hi, I'm outside," and it's not coming through the app, it's directly to your like SMS texting. I don't think that the driver should have your personal cell phone.
Another part of the governor's proposal would require companies to share anonymous emission and trip data, such as start and end locations and drivers' locations when they open their app, so cities and towns can better plan for traffic. Lyft has concerns about the plan, saying in a statement, "We believe it may put the privacy of our rider community at risk." Beverly Newcomb says she only uses ride sharing when she's in a group and more safety measures are necessary.
Especially for women that are getting into these vehicles and they don't know the driver or the person that they're getting in the car with.
Ride-sharing companies provided about 81 million rides across the state in 2018, which is 25% more than the year before. Governor Baker expects this number to increase again this year, saying it will be even more helpful to collect data for traffic and congestion. In Worcester, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Former Uxbridge State Senator Richard Moore is forfeiting $90,000 to resolve campaign finance issues. The Office of Campaign and Political Finance says Moore made a personal payment of $48,000 to the general fund and forgave a personal $41,000 loan to his committee as part of an agreement with regulators. They say he failed to disclose roughly $175,000 in credit card expenses made by his committee. Moore lost his seat to Senator Ryan Fatman in 2014. Sentencing for the Blackstone woman found not guilty of second-degree murder in the death of her 2 infants is set for tomorrow. A judge did find Erica Murray guilty of assault and battery causing harm to 2 of her other children inside her Blackstone home. Judge Janet Kenton Walker dropped one of the 2 murder charges against Murray during the trial. Walker said there wasn't enough evidence one of those babies was born alive. State police discovered the bodies in September of 2014 while performing a wellness check. The city of Worcester is set to break ground on its new ballpark for the Boston Red Sox AAA affiliate. Many businesses in the Canal District say they're ready for the team to come to town. Our Brittany Schaefer has more.
Right on the other side of that bridge is the ballpark.
John Gurton is prepared for Polar Park construction in his backyard. The owner of Gurton Graphics says many in the Canal District are on the edge of their seats.
A lot of excitement that's zooming around the area. It's great because there's so much interest in the stadium, the ballpark, and the team that I think it's going to be a home run.
The longtime Worcester shop started selling Worcester Red Sox gear last August.
Sales have been very brisk. We're selling every single day.
Bud Gurton isn't just using his graphic expertise to generate sales off of the Worcester Red Sox. He also has a partnership for trophies and awards when the team plays ball here in 2021.
We've been working with the association, so we'll be doing work, some awards that they'll be giving out that people throw and say the first pitch. Whoever's going to get recognition for that day, and we'll be doing a lot of promotion and marketing for the team. So it's going to be a win-win situation for both the team and Gurton Graphics.
Construction of the new ballpark is set to start Thursday. City manager Ed Augustus says after years of planning, he's excited to break ground.
It has been a couple of years in chasing the team, negotiating the deal the last year, and getting the team that's actually going to execute this project in place, the construction manager, the architect, the landscape design company, all the folks that we needed to put in place to design this have been working hard for the last few months, and now we're ready to start putting shovels in the ground and start building it. This really is going to be a moment in Worcester's history.
The groundbreaking ceremony will take place here at 3:30 tomorrow. Augustus is expecting Worcester and Boston Red Sox leadership to be here, along with local and state officials. He also hopes thousands of residents will take place in the big day. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture is making steady progress towards eliminating the Asian longhorned beetle from the United States. The destructive pest was found in parts of central Massachusetts more than 10 years ago. There is still a quarantine zone in place, and inspectors are conducting eradication operations. As infested trees are found, they'll be removed by the program at no cost to the property owner. Residents are reminded to follow quarantine laws this summer.
You don't want to move firewood very far from where you actually plan on burning it or gathering it or whatever it may be. I know there's firewood regulations in lots of different states, so this is because a lot of wood-boring pests travel in firewood.
The eradication program manager expects to complete final tree inspections in parts of New York City by the fall. They're hopeful Worcester will see the same results soon. The Red Cross issued an emergency need for blood donations this week. The Red Cross currently has less than a 3-day supply of most blood types. In June, they had a shortfall of more than 2,400 donations. External Communications Manager Kelly Eisner says an emergency need for donations is a serious issue.
In an extreme case, a doctor might have to postpone a surgery because there isn't the right blood available or enough of it. I know a little girl that lives in another part of the state that exact thing happened to when she was 8 years old. So, I mean, it does happen. We like to, the Red Cross feels like it's our job to get the word out before it gets to that point.
The Worcester Donor Center is open 7 days a week. For more information or to schedule an appointment, you can check their website. It's a piece of art and it can take people through the air. A special balloon flight in central Massachusetts happened Wednesday night. The 100-foot-tall reflective balloon took off from the Fruitlands Museum in Harvard. Known as New Horizon, it was created by world-renowned artist Doug Aiken and is part of a multi-year public art series put on by the Trustees, a preservation organization. The balloon will make several stops across the state from now until the end of July. You can buy tickets and see the balloon's upcoming schedule at the Trustees website. One of Worcester's state-run swimming pools is a popular spot, especially when temps get into the 90s like they did today. A line formed outside of the Shine pool earlier this evening. The wait didn't seem to bother people looking to escape the heat. They made the best of it once they got into the water.
Try to find someone who wants to play tag in the water. Getting refreshed.
I actually learned how to swim a little more. And we were just swimming around, playing with people.
She does swim lesson here in the morning, so right after that we come pack up and ready to go over here. It's the main pool that we go to every other day.
The Shine pool is open every day from 11:15 to 6:45 p.m. and will be open through August 22nd.